All right, last day to get a little review. We started our EOGs tomorrow. Y'all ain't got the math tomorrow, but you know the tests are starting, so it's here. Volume's the last one we got. Like I said, we had to flip the order because of laptops and all, but gonna work with volume a little bit to start with. All right, let's start with this one. Find the volume of that cylinder. Volume problems aren't tough, but you got to remember your formulas. Yeah, we got 9,000. This one. Volume of a cylinder is pi times radius times height. So we're using 3.14 times 10 times 10 times 30. They gave you radius, so we don't have to cut it in half. When do we cut it in half? When it's diameter. It's weird saying it's height when it's laying down like this, but that's still the height. Height goes from circle to circle, or cones, the height goes from the circle to the point. So the height's 30. So that's the math we're doing, 9,420. Everybody good on that one? Again, as long as you remember the formula, these are almost, I don't think I've ever seen on the inactive. So it should be on the active. Shouldn't be bad. Cone. Cone's a little bit different. Pretty close to the same, right? Okay. Yeah, we got about 5.2. All right, cone. Cone is pi times radius times height, 3. All right, so a couple of y'all, we're forgetting that divided by 3 on the cone. A couple of y'all forgot another part. What they give us this time. So when they give us diameter, we got to cut that in half, right? So we're doing 3.14 times 1 times 5 divided by 3. And what you got, we got 5.23. The 3 is repeating. But it says the nearest tenth, so that's just 1 decimal. So 5.2 is good. Any questions on that one? So again, it comes down to knowing that formula, right? Pi times radius times height. Just like a cylinder, the difference between a cone and a cylinder is you divide by 3, okay? And then pay attention whether it's diameter or radius. All right, the weird one. It says to leave answer in terms of pi. Don't worry about that. Just get your answer normal first, okay? I'll go over that in a second. Yeah, so we got 904.32. All right, for a sphere. Like I said, it's the weird one. It's a little different. We got 4 divided by 3 times pi times radius times radius. No height, but we got to have 3 letters on any of these shapes. 3D shapes, 3 letters, okay? So the 3 letters for a sphere, radius. For the other ones, it's radius, height. So on this one, 4 divided by 3 times 3.14 times radius times radius times radius. Or, sorry, for this one, we plug in the numbers, right? Okay? Now, I said I'd explain what it's asking you there. It says in terms of pi. Anybody remember what that means we do? When it says to answer in terms of pi, we're going to leave out pi. Okay? So I just do 4 divided by 3 times 6 times 6 times 6. So what that gives me is 288, and then the answer will have the pi symbol at the end. Okay? The answer choices will all have the pi symbol, so that'll hopefully help you kind of remember that. But if you see problems where they have the pi symbol on them, that's what it's looking for. Just don't use pi. Don't use the 3.14. Okay? Any questions there? Spheres are the weird one. Or just a little more different than the other two, at least. All right, so this one might be a little hard to read. We have a cylinder with a radius of 2, height of 8. So it's a cylinder, but it's 1/4 full. So here's what we do. We find the volume like normal. So find the volume like normal first. So like I said, it's a cylinder. So we got pi times radius times height, right? So we got 100.48. Everybody okay there? When it's 1/4 full, or any fraction full, fraction. Okay? On the calculator, the way that looks is times the numerator, divide by the denominator. So you take whatever you got for the volume, in this case, times 1 divided by 4. And that's given us, they rounded a little differently. We got the 25.12 with how we rounded. They got 25.13. Any questions on that? Everybody see how that works? If it's filled by a fraction, that's what you're doing. You multiply by that fraction. And it's times numerator divided by denominator. Like I just said, times numerator divided by denominator. What's a hemisphere? Half a sphere. So if I've got a hemisphere with a radius of 8, what that means is I've got a sphere with a radius of 8. So I find the area of the sphere. So I got 4 divided by 3 times 3.14 times 8 times 8 times 8. And then I got to find half of it. So how do I find half? Divide by 2. I can either divide by 2 or multiply by half. It's probably easiest to divide by 2. All right, so which one's the answer? Anybody think they can tell me why our answer is different than their answer? They rounded differently. All right, so I'm going to show you something, okay? So everybody on your calculator, do 4 divided by 3 times, then hit the second button, that blue one, or bluish, and that little triangle that's above the division. And you see how you got the pi symbol then? And then go times 8 times 8 times 8, and then divide that by 2. And you see how that gives you their answer? Most of the problems are using 3.14 that you'll see, okay? Using 3.14 will get you close to almost every answer. Using 3.14 is going to be just fine. Using 3.14 is going to go quicker for you than using that pi symbol. I would use 3.14 each time, okay? Any questions on that? All right, so I just wanted to kind of show you on this one. Y'all just kind of pay attention and listen here. Darla has buckets shaped like cylinders. She's filling the buckets with water using a scoop shaped like a cone. The cone has the same radius and the same height as the buckets. How many scoops will it take to fill the 3 buckets? All right, so what this is saying, we've got 3 buckets shaped like cylinders, all about the same size. We'll pretend those are all equal, right? And she has a scoop. Oh, that one went a little too big. Got it a little closer to the same size at least. Shaped like a cone that has the same radius and the same height. All right, so my picture, at least close enough, right? What's the difference in how we find the volume of a cylinder and a cone? Divide by 3, right? So how many of these cones would it take to fill one of them then? 3. Divide under. That means 3 cones is going to make that 1 cylinder, right? So how many cones for the next one? 3 more, right? So how many total? Everybody see how that worked? Not bad, right? Sometimes they ask a weird question like that, and if a cone and a cylinder have the same radius and the same height, that's what it is. The cylinder is 3 times as big, okay?